Hello and welcome to brand new airport preview time once again. Two quick notams before we continue, and the first being that I did an upgrade to Alexandra. If you missed that, check this video channel 2 videos ago for a preview of that one. And it's a lot better than the last version of NZLX that I did, so it is worth a look. And the other big announcement is that this new scenery which we're going to today is going to be my final airport for X-Plane 11. We've got X-Plane 12 getting closer, and I will be back and making more stuff for that. So if you like my airports, then don't worry, I will be doing things for the new sim again. But as it is getting closer, I'm going to call this the final one for X-Plane 11, and then have a little break from scenery making before 12 does arrive. So that's just the short version of what's happening, but check out my previous video, the just flying one, and that's a bigger and better explanation of it all if you wanted it. But back to today then, and I thought this one would be a nice way to bow out, as we have quite a fun little airfield, which is XNZAU Te Awamutu. The town of Te Awamutu is just south of Hamilton and North Island, and it looks like it has been expanding recently with new houses being built. The expansion does seem to be getting closer to the airfield and may well surround it in the near future and even shut the place down, but for now it does seem to still be an active airport, so it can certainly make it into the sim for now. If you look at the ortho before installing this, that is a satellite picture from a few years ago. Most of where their houses are now is still fields. So I've made a ground polygon which shows all the new buildings, and having all the new housing is obviously more realistic, but it's a bit more fun too. Although that's more coming in from the other side, as this approach is still fairly open and the easier way in. You'll see it better when we turn around and land again, as there is a building site where more stuff is obviously going to be built soon, and a new housing estate which is already there now, including some houses right on the centre line of the runway. That's why I do wonder if the airfield will still be there in the future, as the approach does take you fairly close to some rooftops. If you had an engine issue on short final, then you'll be landing in somebody's kitchen, which is probably not an ideal situation for them or you, unless they were making a nice curry at the time, and had enough to share while you were waiting for the emergency services. Nothing too hot, just like a medium spicy, a jalfrezi or something like that, with a few extra onions maybe, and extra garlic, because, well, always extra garlic in a good curry. Maybe a nice naan bread to go with it, or 2 naan breads as it's New Zealand. I had a couple of Indian restaurant meals during my trips there in New Plymouth and Christchurch, and as both of them were exactly the same, I can only conclude that a naan bread in the UK is about twice the size of one in New Zealand. There was a moment where I did wonder if they were going to bring me a toy to go with the children's Happy Meal size bread they brought me. It was still nice, so no complaints, but it was a little weird with the naan being so small. Although not crashing into any of the houses at all, that would still be a preferred option, especially the house which Gary has just moved into. Gary recently has been considering taking up meditation. He thought that if he started meditating, then at least it would be better than sitting around doing nothing. I think we had a Captain Bouncy moment there, didn't we? So welcome to XNZAU Te Awamutu airfield. And as I mentioned earlier, as this is going to be my final X-Plane 11 scenery, it's not a bad way to go out, as I quite like this one. There is a small taxiway just up here on the left to the apron area and hangars, and you'll see it easily enough due to the height of the grass. From the little bit of research material I found, the non-aircraft parts of the airfield, they haven't seen a lawnmower in quite some time, and it genuinely is this long and overgrown, which kind of adds to the feel of the place, so I actually quite like it. We'll park up here by this little block of custom built hangars. And that will probably do for our tour of this final X-Plane 11 new one from me. As usual, you can get a copy of my new stuff at xplane.org or my mega folder, and unless it's curry day, try not to crash into the houses if you do decide to come here. So as this is the end of my X-Plane 11 run, thanks for watching, supporting, helping, criticising, not reading the instructions, breaking stuff yourself because, oh no, you know better, and then you need me to fix it for you, making weird requests for moving one particular scenery to close to a guy's house in America, the person who reported me to the org moderators, and still remains the one and only person to ever say no to one of my permission requests, and everyone who has generally made my life easier, or possibly more difficult than it needs to be, sometimes both. I think that probably covers just about everybody I've interacted with over the last few years in at least one of those categories. So, no more scenery until X-Plane 12, but I will keep making plenty of videos until then. So, until the next one of those comes along, have fun, and I'll see you again soon. Bye!